Good day, plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we'll be going to the Little Elm, Texas Walmart. This is a Walmart that I haven't ever visited before, but I heard that they may have had a restock, so I went ahead and drove over to the Little Elm Walmart. Thank you guys so much for tuning into all of my big box store plant shopping videos. We've gotten a lot of participation. I do have an Instagram account now at Growfolds, so I hope you will be able to follow me there and check out some of my other posts. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and walk in here into this Walmart and see what they have. Their store layout is pretty organized. I really like that. And we're gonna go to outdoor and see if they have any plants. I'm really excited to see that Walmart has really stepped it up in terms of like Costa Farms trending tropicals. We have Growers Bench by Wild Interiors coming through with some really nice philodendrons. So I heard there might be some rare ones like the other Walmart I went to off of Preston Road. So I can even see from the distance that I see plants. Yes, I see plants. So this place has definitely gotten some sort of restock because most Walmarts didn't have any sort of plants about a month and a half ago. So really, really cool. We'll definitely look at that plant restock. But as you can see, we passed by an anthurium, a really nice size peace lily or spathiphyllum. That's a really nice one. I believe it's $24.97. And then this one is also in the $20 range. Beautiful anthurium, nice red blooms. So that's nice. And we see that even though this is just one round section of plants, there are a variety of plants right over here. So we are looking at a Aglaonema red Siam. I do see some philodendrons right over there. I see some trending tropicals right over here. So yes, so this is in Aglaonema red Siam or Siam Aurora. This one is for $14.97 in a self-watering planter. It's plants with benefits under Target's label. And then we have an Epipremnum aureum, global green pothos. This one has some pretty nice variegation from Trending Tropicals, Costa Farms. This one's $19.97. I am in the hunt for this, even though I already have one. I just really like the planter that it's in. So Costa Farms did an awesome job with their new Trending Tropicals line, at least the release that they have at Walmart. They have self-watering wick pots. So you just put a little water at the very bottom of the reservoir and the wick takes the water up the plant. So there's no like fear. There's not a chance of actually overwatering your plants. So I really like that as well. And your bottom watering. We have a ZZ Raven over here. So ZZ Ravens are very common now. I would say just as common as a regular ZZ plant, but I do love how dark the leaves are. The name Raven really does give it a really nice touch because it does look like raven feathers, very shiny, dark black foliage. And I do love the fact that the new growth is actually green. So I find that very interesting. ZZ plants don't require a lot of light, so you'll be able to grow them in spaces that don't receive a lot of light. Here we have a Monstera Cobra, or what they would call a Stedliana by Costa Farms. This one is also $19.97. So this one is actually a plant that I am seeing in almost every big box store. Really cool to see that Walmart is carrying this, and kudos to Costa Farms for making these plants readily available. I remember a Stedliana was quite expensive about 2 to 3 years ago, and here I haven't seen this yet is an Alocasia Jacqueline. Very nice looking leaves. Part of me feels like these leaves are not as healthy, but let me know in the comments if this is what an Alocasia Jacqueline looks like. I could see there are some browning and crisping. Actually touching a lot of these plants, they all are in desperate need of water. Like part of me wants to just take all of the self-watering pots and like get a bottle of water and like put water in these planters to at least give these plants some sort of like chance to live. I noticed that a lot of the plants may have just been like unloaded about a week ago or even sooner, but nobody's really buying plants right now. I totally get it because in the North Dallas market, we are anticipating really, really cold weather, and winter alone is very difficult to grow house plants. But this is a beautiful Alocasia Jacqueline, so that is another trending tropicals that I haven't seen. The other day I was able to see a Tortum and now an Alocasia Jacqueline. We have some more ZZ Raven plants, and we have a casualty right over here. This is a very sad looking Alocasia Silver Dragon. So really sad to see that it is looking like that. And now we have some beautiful Philodendron Pink Princess. This is by Growers Bench, and look at the size of the foliage of here. part of me had like this philodendron pink princess has such dark foliage. You would think it's like a philodendron black cherry. It has pretty decent variegation. And this is by Grower's Bench, which is basically a line by Wild Interiors. You often see Wild Interiors in like grocery stores and less than like big box stores. But I love the fact that Grower's Bench is actually giving Costa Farms a run for their money in terms of just the quality of rare philodendron that they have. I wouldn't even say rare anymore, just because you're seeing a million and one like philodendron pink princess. Now it's a matter of quality. Are you going to pick the one that has the best variegation? Like look at this one right over here. Its leaf is unfurling and there's a lot of sectoral pink variegation. My first philodendron pink princess pretty much reverted, so I went ahead and chopped it up in the hopes of like possibly getting some new variegation. But here we have a beautiful Monstera Peru. This one is 1997, and what I like about a Monstera Peru is look at the texture of the leaves, look at the veining of the leaves. It's just a beautiful Monstera, and it's one that I haven't really seen, or at least haven't really searched for, where if you let it grow on a moss pole, how much fenestration will it have? I mean, it is a Monstera, so that's quite interesting to kind of look into. I like that, and I am into possibly getting one soon. And we have another Monstera Adansonii. The trending tropicals Costa Farms Monstera Adansonii have some really large foliage, so it might be the wide form of the Monstera Adansonii. We have a Dracaena Warneckii white jewel right here. This is for $4.97, which is not a bad price for a exotic angels plant. So I like that. Dracaena don't really require nearly as much light as some other plants, so they are an easy care plant. We also have a Sansevieria right over here with a new pup right there. That's really nice for $4.97. So the thing about Sansevieria or snake plants is it is, quote, an easy plant, but overwatering can definitely kill it. And then we have a purple passion plant. I ended up getting one of these the other day. Really love the purple tone of the leaves. It has very velvety leaves, so I'm thinking that this plant is going to require a lot of humidity. I could be wrong, but I can even see that a lot of the plants at this Walmart location are very dehydrated and thirsty. Somebody in the garden center definitely needs to water these plants because the pots are so light to the touch. And now we have another, if I'm struggling actually to get another sort of Aurelia. I think this is the Galaxy False Aurelia by Costa Farms, exotic angel for $4.97. I like the stems on the leaves because they are variegated. They're giving me like alocasia, like zebrina vibes about it. Very nice looking Aurelia. I have a variegated Aurelia that I am still nursing and trying to get new growth from, that I rescued from Lowe's. I have a video about that if you haven't seen it. And then we have, your favorite guys, the Hydra Helix. This one is the Little Herman Ivy. I've seen this at Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart. So this is a very common Hydra Helix. We also have an inch plant or a Tradescanthia. This one is just a common one, but I do love the undersides of the leaves. There's some purple tones to it. Tradescanthia are super easy to grow. Like you can literally pinch the top of that, put it in water, and literally 24 hours later, there will be some water roots. So really cool plant. The only thing is, in order for it to remain bushy, is you constantly have to pinch it. Otherwise, it is going to get very leggy. Then you're going to have to like start over and cut it from the base. Just a tip of mine, I've seen it happen before. We have a beautiful Schefflera plant or umbrella plant for $4.97. It's Louisine is what the cultivar name is for this one. I like umbrella plants. When I was in actually New Orleans, there were some beautiful variegated Schefflera plants that were just growing outside. So it did inspire me to possibly get a variegated Schefflera. Here is a variegated Peperomia variegata golden. This one is for $4.97. Beautiful looking Peperomia as well. I love the edging of the leaves with just that cream variegation. This one is also an easy care plant. Doesn't really require a lot. Definitely need to make sure that you let it dry completely before you water. Most plants are actually like that, I would say, even with Aroids. And then we also have some more Philodendron pink princess here. The problem with this Walmart is they have these nice looking philodendron at the very top. So like you have to lean over to try to grab them. And I don't want to grab too many because I don't want to damage the leaves. But this one has some insane variegation. Like look at this. Absolutely stunning pink sectoral variegation right here. And would you believe that this philodendron pink princess is only for $24.48. This is by Growers Bench, so this is not a Costa Farms release. And look at that dark foliage right there. It is absolutely stunning. I can't get enough of these philodendron pink princess. I would say I have 5 now in my collection. 2 of them have come from HEB, which is a Texas grocery store. But yeah, these are a philodendron ring of fire. So I know in my last video, a lot of people were loving these ring of fires. This one has some weird things going on at the edge of the leaves. It looks like it's almost sun stressed, but nonetheless, very good size for our philodendron ring of fire. And that one is also for $24.48. We have a Dracaena Janet Craig. I kept on saying Jenny Craig like the weight loss program, but this is a Dracaena Janet Craig Compacta for $9.97. This one is by Expert Gardener, which is the product line of Walmart for plants. And we have a Staghorn Fern. This is a Dutch Staghorn Fern hanging basket by Costa Farms. Very beautiful plant. This one is for $19.97 as well. Costa Farms has been coming up with some really nice looking hanging baskets. I am in the hunt for a Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. I would love a Cebu Blue hanging basket, but as you can see, as I pan out, there are still quite a bit of plants. I like that they have the hanging baskets hanging at the edge right here. This one, we have a Hydra Helix, guys. Ingrid Liz. This one requires medium light. Again, I always gaslight Hydra Helix, or I can be a little bit sarcastic, and it's only because Hydra Helix, I love the plant so much because I love the leaf shape. It reminds me of maples, like Japanese maples. That is another thing I love is Japanese maples. So they have this maple looking leaf shape with the amazing cream variegations, yellow variegations, sometimes even pink variegations. The only problem is it is such a difficult plant because it is a spider mite magnet. Like I don't know how somebody could grow a Hydra Helix indoors. Let me know in the comments if you guys really want me to do a Hydra Helix challenge where I document growing a English ivy for an entire month to see if it'll get spider mites. Let me know if you guys think I should do that as a video for the future. We have a Dracaena maculata here for $9.97. Beautiful looking plant. This one, I love the variegation as well. It reminds me almost like an Aglaonema, but the difference between an Aglaonema and a Dracaena is the Dracaena. Well, actually, no, this isn't a Dracaena. I am so sorry. Wrong plant ID. This is a Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachia is that they require a lot more highlight versus an Aglaonema. But I would say the Dieffenbachia have a faster growth rate than an Aglaonema. I will still pick Aglaonema more just because there are more color varieties by far. We have some Epipremnum Aureum Golden Pothos right here for $9.97. We have this really nice looking Dracaena Hawaii. This one is for $9.97. Very nice large foliage already for this plant. This one gets fairly large as well. So if you're going to get one of these plants, you're going to need some space. I like the fact that this is definitely a quote common plant, but I feel like it's an underrated plant because look at how beautiful the leaves are. Look at that variegation. Very nice. This is a good starter plant for $9.97, but if you want instant gratification, big box stores carry these in large versions as well. So it's just really up to your space. Very good plant for spaces that do not have a lot of bright indirect sunlight. Here we have a strawberry begonia. This one is also for $19.97. Love that Exotic Angels hanging basket. It does require some medium indirect light. I love the undersides of the leaves. They're very fuzzy and beautiful. This isn't one that I have seen too often in the past, so I've seen it at a lot of like big box stores. Really nice. And then I've been seeing a lot of rainbow moss, so I don't know if anybody really grows rainbow moss, but this one actually it can tolerate lower light conditions. I would say that just because moss in general probably grow in lower light conditions. Somebody said that this does require a lot of high humidity, so that is going to be a no for me. And these are actually really cute. I love seeing these cordyline plants, or what they call tea plants, but these are the compact versions. So these ones don't get really large. They're like the more dwarf versions. These ones actually look nice. I'm looking for one that doesn't have a lot of yellowing on the leaves. I think a lot of the plants I've seen at Walmart's that carry this compact cordyline, it's just dehydrated, and this plant does require a bit of water. I love the pink margins in the edgings of these leaves. The stems are beautiful, and for $9.97, this is not a bad plant at all. I actually would pick up this plant today. It's just that in the last week, I've added so many plants just because I've been doing big box store shopping tours almost every day, twice a day. So definitely will put a hole in my wallet. So for those who have supported me through viewership, through giving me super stickers during the live chats, really appreciate it. Keep it coming if you want to support the channel. Just a little shameless plug right there, but nonetheless, it does really help with the channel and just my plant budget. We have some more Ring of Fire right over here, this Philodendron Ring of Fire. These are actually not bad looking Philodendron Ring of Fires for $24.48. If you actually go to like grocery shop stores like Kroger's, HEB, and some other ones, they are actually, I would tell you, they are actually selling them for quite a bit, but the size of these Philodendron Ring of Fires are not nearly as big of a size like this. And I've only slowed this down, as you can see, because I wanted to talk to you guys about the variegation of it and the differences between that. And then we also have a Philodendron White Knight. So this White Knight, as you can see, has some really large leaves. Really like the variegation. I've seen this at Callaway's being sold for a lot more. I think it's like $99 versus this one where you can get it for $24.48. That's the beauty of big box shopping stores. The trick is you have to catch it during a restock, like a recent restock, because then the plants are still fresh and healthy. I would say this, just based on the soil levels of it being dry, I would say that this restock must have happened maybe a week ago, because they are just a little bit dehydrated. I mean, this one is still holding itself pretty well. You can see that the stems probably carries a lot of water, so it can tolerate a little bit less like watering, like underwatering. But this Philodendron White Knight, or Urubescens, is a beautiful one for $24.48. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, definitely hit up a Walmart, because the Growers Bench line, which is basically Wild Interior's rarer or more uncommon plants, have really hit the market. And I love that they have a Philodendron White Princess, a Philodendron White Knight. This one is a really cute cactus. It looks fake, but it is called a cuddly cactus. And this one is for $24.48. Really nice looking cactus. Totally would get a cactus, and if I did, I would get this one just because it looks so cute. The only thing is, don't let it deceive you. You do need to give this cuddly cactus a lot of bright light, almost direct sunlight if possible, just because it's a cactus. It's a succulent. Succulents and cactus require a lot of light, so growing them indoors does require a little bit more effort, especially during the winter when our days are a little shorter. Grow lights will definitely help with that. I'll go ahead and pan out right over here, and you can see over here we have some beautiful anthurium, very large size anthuriums. I think those are like within the $24.87 range, and we have a variety where there is some like maroon, magenta, purple tones on this. Love the leaves itself, like it's nice and big. I would love to see an anthurium that's like variegated, that the foliage, at least the green, foliage. I've seen variegated anthurium where the blooms are variegated. There's one I think called Shibori, where it's like pink and white. I saw that on eBay, and I almost won the auction, but ended up getting outbid. So have you guys ever found like a wish list plant that like at the very end you get outbidded on eBay? Like that's happened to me so many times. So I'm kind of laid off of eBay just because I was really frustrated. But going off of a tangent, beautiful anthurium right over here. I would suggest, if you are looking for a common plant like this, Walmart of all the big boxes have the best anthurium selection for the 2024 season. So absolutely gorgeous. I would pick up one, but I think if I'm going to get one of these, I would definitely get a variegated one, just because the space of my plant collection is starting to dwindle very quickly. And I do blame it on these like daily big box shopping tours. I feel like big box just makes it fun because you get like very cost-effective plants. This was really cool. I saw this at another Walmart. These are pineapple bromeliads. Look at these miniature pineapples. I don't think these are edible, but look at these pineapples. Very nice looking one by Growers Bench. This is also for $24.48. I would be curious to see what other Growers Bench releases we have for 2024, just because they came out of the gate swinging with like a Philodendron White Princess, Philodendron White Knight, that cuddly cactus, a variety of Alocasia. I mean, look at this right here. This is a beautiful Philodendron Pink Princess. Like, I cannot get enough of like the beautiful variegation. And that's the thing. Philodendron Pink Princess vary now in variegation, and it's not always about the lighting conditions you give it. It's literally the genetics of the plant. So if you're propagating really good genetics, variegated plants, you are most likely going to get that type of a beautiful pink variegation. But as you can see, Aglonema silverbay, very, very common Aglonema, but nonetheless, this one gets very large, and that one is for $14.97. We have some ginseng ficus bonsai, very cute looking ginseng ficus bonsai. I don't really like the pot that it's in. I don't really like the circular pot with the texture. I love bonsai. That was my first love when it came down to plants. I think this one is also for 24 something. So if you want to start with the bonsai, definitely get a ginseng ficus bonsai. I know IKEA also sells these, but you will get the most cost-effective prices at Walmart. And I find it interesting that Walmart is like trying to sell plants where you put like 6 ice cubes to water it. Guys, if you are watering your plants with ice cubes, please stop now, because it is so cold. Like, the ice cubes are so cold that it would literally shock the roots of the plants. Don't do that. It's kind of like if somebody threw you in an ice bath. It's not a nice feeling. Stick your foot in an ice bath and see how it feels. So water your plants using like regular room temperature water, not using ice cubes. That they say that's the lazy way of taking care of plants. It's not the best way. And then you can see there's a mini ficus lyrata right over here. All of these plants, like the ZZ plant, is for $14.97. Plants with Benefits by Costa Farms, marketed by Walmart. And then we have a Pachira aquatica money tree. I am in the hunt for a variegated version. I just need to find one that maybe be under like $100. We'll see. This one is a cool looking Alocasia Black Velvet. Thank you to the viewer that got me that plant ID. It's looking a little sad just because it looks dehydrated. And then we have a beautiful Alocasia. Is that a Milo? This one is an Alocasia Milo. And you can see over there, there's an Alocasia that just kind of like withered away just because it hasn't been watered. But I do like these Pachira aquatica or money trees, lucky money trees. This one is also marketed to put like 2 ice cubes to water it once a week. Don't do that. Please don't do that. We also have bromeliads right over here. I do like that this bromeliad has some nice variegation, and like the pink, the subtle pink looks like somebody took a spray paint and just spray paint a little bit of pink there. So I actually thought that at one point somebody did spray paint those bromeliads, but no, they are legit. This one is a nice bromeliad too. So bromeliads are everywhere, and I don't know, like I know some people were thinking I was gaslighting bromeliads. It just never really was fascinated with them. But then when I started seeing the different types of foliage, like the previous one I showed you in this video, I started to get interested in bromeliads. But you can see that Walmart, at least this one at Little Elm, has some decent plants, not as good as the other Walmart. And that goes to show in my previous video how not every big box store is created equal. Plant care varies from different big box stores, but if you catch it during a fresh restock, you'll get lucky and get some healthy looking plants. Like this one is an Alocasia poly. I've had about 2 of those in the past. Definitely is susceptible to spider mites, so if that is an Alocasia, I will not be adding to my collection, unfortunately. At least not this year. We'll see if I can get some good growing conditions for that. And then we're gonna pan over here. So there's another table section with a bunch of like orchids. We have some larger plants here. We have some Dracaena, some Yucca, some Dieffenbachia, Ficus lyrata, some Majesty palm. See, this is every big box store. You will always see a Majesty palm. I almost want to get nosy and take a look at what's in this box. Is it a bunch of plants? But I don't think so. I think it's something else. And then we have some Spathiphyllum or peace lily. Look at how large these leaves are. Beautiful. I am in the hunt to try to get a Spathiphyllum domino from this Etsy seller in Indonesia called Baroka Plants. So if you're going to import plants, I'm going to shout out Baroka Plants in Indonesia. I had a really good experience with that. Now I'm looking at some orchids right over here. Walmart has some really good orchids, but I will tell you, if you're going to get orchids, buy them at Lowe's. They have a better variety and selection. Maybe not the best pricing, but yes. And then we have some more anthuriums right over here. Beautiful anthuriums. I love that the blooms are so waxy, rubbery. They almost remind me of like Hoya leaves. Really nice looking. And then we have some more orchids right over here. If you are a plant foldie or one of my viewers, let me know if you actually grow orchids, what the plant care is, and if it's difficult, because I am considering getting orchids. And then we actually have some more bromeliads here. I really like the look of this bromeliad, the fiery red and yellow tones of the blooms, I would believe, are really nice. But I did want to just pan out and look at all of these flowering plants. So when we look at like house plants, oftentimes we don't really like consider a lot of like flowering plants as house plants, but they do add a different touch or different color to a space. So I am actually considering getting an indoor azalea, and it's a legitimate indoor azalea. If you haven't caught my other plant nursery video, there's one called Nicholson Hardy. Definitely check it out, where you see some indoor azaleas. Very nice looking, but we'll go back to these orchids. I like the look of this orchid for sure, and these ones are not that expensive either. I don't have the pricing, but when I flipped it over, it's not that much. So Walmart definitely has the best pricing, I would say, for variety and selection. They only have a couple of different colors, but nonetheless, if you just need like one really cost-effective orchid, get it at Walmart. And I'm gonna pan out here. Look at how beautiful that is. Now I will say these are just absolutely gorgeous, and it looks like it just got restocked. Like, I want to go pan in and zoom in at how beautiful and rubbery these anthurium blooms are. Absolutely stunning. Love it, love it, love it. And then we have this right here. I like going to big box stores right after work, so that's what I've been doing, just because it doesn't look like a lot of people are shopping the garden center closer to the late afternoon, early evening. And then I had another viewer that wanted me to show some more cactus, succulents. Here's a Norfolk pine that they still have for sale. We have some grafted cactus right here. These are all assorted for $4.97. So if you're into cactus, I would definitely go to Walmart. Walmart has the best pricing. They are the most cost effective, especially their Element plants, which is the line that sells a lot of the succulents and cactus. So really like that. That looks very prickly. Here's another cactus right over here. I'm afraid that if I start collecting, succulents and cactus, I'm not going to stop. And I know I don't have the lighting conditions to sustain succulents and cactus indoors. But these are a decent looking amount of cactus right over here. And we'll pan over here. It looks like they have another sheet that shows like their deliveries. So, if you want to be nosy, you can pause here and see what kind of plants this Walmart has received. And we have some more flowering plants right over here. Not sure what the plant ID is for this, but it is $4.97 in price. And let me know if you guys grow this type of, flowering plant right here. Very beautiful red blooms. I like it a lot. I just won't add it to my collection. I feel like that one is more of an outdoor type plant. And then we have some more succulents here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer so you can see the different types of like textures, colors. There is a beauty about succulents that Aroids do not have, and I think it's just the textures and the very subtle variegations and coloring that these cactus and succulents have. Like, these are all grafted cactus. I really like that. I do think that the red and yellow are a little bit jarring. This one's only for $3.97, so these smaller succulents are for $3.97. You can totally make a succulent arrangement by just buying a bunch of those. And then this is the very pathetic, and I say pathetic, sad clearance rack that this Walmart has attempted to have. They just put it in a basket with some like plants that are in dire need of being rescued. Honestly, I think some of them are beyond rescue unless you really want to like invest in it. Like, I've never seen a Dracaena that shriveled up. Literally, a lot of these plants could have just been saved had they just been on top of the watering. So that's really sad. I see 2 Alocasia Silver Dragon. And again, I like to gaslight big box stores, but when you think about plants that like die like that, somebody at Costa Farm, somebody at Growers Bench, the nursery took time to grow that plant. It took several months, and just negligence causes them to be, you know, sad and eventually die. So just another rant of mine. I don't know if you guys agree, but I do think that as much as we love house plants, tropical plants, think of how many plants are wasted on a daily basis just because they don't sell through, and the amount of effort it took to grow these beautiful plants. So just, you know, fruit for thought. Some people will disagree because they're like, well, there's hundreds of thousands of tissue cultured plants. That doesn't matter considering like how much plastic is used for the planters, the potting medium that is used to make, and just a lot of varieties and steps. So oftentimes I don't think we slow down and think about just a carbon footprint rehab, and then just finding homes for these plants. Like, these are all beautiful plants. I just wish more people would be into plants and purchase at big box stores, just because they do offer very cost-effective plants. Like all of these pink princesses, they definitely need to go to good homes. That Alocasia Jacqueline, those 3 of them that are starting to really decline in health, somebody needs to buy those trending tropicals. But I will go on a positive note and say that 2024 season is going to have some really amazing plants. Like, look at this Philodendron pink princess. Love the dark foliage. The pink variegation is absolutely stunning. And then the ring of fire. Like, if you're going to get some of these rarer plants that were very expensive a couple years back, 2024 is definitely the year to purchase them. And I do appreciate you guys just taking the time again to, you know, look at my daily plant shopping videos. I will feature other videos soon. I'm just in the mix of doing that. I've just been extremely busy at work, so it has been quite challenging to try to edit videos and get them premiered at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. But I will be ending this video soon. Again, for all my plant foldies, thank you so much for always tuning in, participating in the live chat during the premieres, and I will definitely see you later this evening at about 7 or 8 for my other premiere. Have a good day.